This video covers writing the introduction for your essay. Introductions are an important part of your essay as they set the scene for the topics within the essay. They are also a good place to provide an outline and context for the arguments which will be made in subsequent sections. The introduction can be used to explain key terms or definitions which may be relevant to your essay. However, bear in mind that an introduction is usually only about 10% of your total word count, so try to be concise. Finally, an introduction provides a way of signalling what each section of your essay will discuss. This is known as signposting. The introduction is one of the first things a reader will come across in your essay. Starting off with a strong introduction helps to set a positive tone and will encourage the reader to want to continue. This section of your essay also provides a suitable opportunity for contextualizing your essay contents and illustrating the link between your arguments and the question being asked of you. Most introductions share a similar structure in that they begin broad but finish on a more specific note. Beginning broadly means that you should introduce the essay topic and justify its relevance. As you continue through your introduction, provide context for each of the arguments that will be made in the essay. This helps to highlight how each argument point is related to the main essay topic. Finally, the introduction should end with a very specific outline of the exact arguments which will be made in the essay. You can think of this as your essay map. If we look at a sample introduction for the question, critically evaluate the claim that the legalisation of drugs in Ireland would be of more benefit than harm to society, we can see that there are three distinct sections. Notice how the beginning of the introduction is broad and does not focus on the exact contents of the essay yet. It only provides context for the overall essay topic. Moving through the introduction, the central argument is highlighted in red. Here you can connect the broader topic of the essay with the actual assignment task. Finally, the end of the introduction sets out a very specific roadmap for how this topic will be discussed and what the main argument points will be. These points should be outlined in the introduction in the same order in which they appear in the main body of the essay. Remember that your introduction is only about 10% of the total word count, so try to be concise in listing your arguments and avoid adding unnecessary detail. Introductions usually consist of a single paragraph, but this may change depending on the length of your essay. You only need to introduce topics which will appear in the main text of the essay. Try to avoid introducing topics which you will not continue to discuss in further detail. The introduction is the first stop for establishing the significance of your topic and convincing the reader to read your essay. You must ensure that your arguments are presented in a logical fashion. The reader should have no doubt as to what your assignment is about. Incorporate signposting into the introduction by clearly stating the main sections of your essay in the order that they will appear in the text. Always double check your introduction to make sure that it starts broad and ends on an essay-specific note.